Good evening. This is Adrenaline Radio. I'm Fred Blanchard, host of Adrenaline Motorsports. Again, this evening, we're fortunate enough to have an in-studio guest. I'll explain a little bit about our guest. His name is Javier Vasquez. Javier also has a hobby in motorsports, and that was one of the reasons that I asked him to come on to the program this evening. And very interesting in regards to off-road racing, sponsors, and your new venture and your new vehicle. I think that when you quit racing with your brother in the 80s, I think you got back into this, I think around 2000. Isn't that correct?
That is correct. At the time, my boy, my son, wanted to go back to racing because he was too small at the time that I was racing with my brother. So we went ahead and built a car and started racing in 2000. We built a 516 100 car, and that's how we began. We raced probably for 4.5 years, maybe 5. And in 2006, we decided to run the old car that we raced with my brother. And in 2006, the first time out with this car, we actually won the championship for MDR.
Javier, I'd like very much to find out some details on this championship trophy that you won for the year of, I think it was 2008 or 9, was it?
We won the championship for 2007 and 2008.
Wow. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of what it took to get to this point? I know that, tell me about the type of car that you were running at that time to get to this direction, and how it all began, and how many events you had to run to win the championship. And this was Mojave Desert Racing Association?
Yes, MDR, Mojave Desert Racing.
I see.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about what it took to get there. These championships don't just fall into your lap. I know what it takes, a lot of hard work and a lot of parts and a lot of help from a lot of people. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about some of that?
Sure. A lot of parts and a lot of people is certainly the key. We have currently 30 people that help us, volunteers that help us race to make this happen. Parts, of course, we have to have a lot of extra and spare parts, and we started seriously racing the car in 2006, and my son and I resurrected the old car that we used to run in Mexico. And the first year, of course, we had a lot of breakdowns and things of that nature. We were just learning to ride with one another, and went on to the season for 2007. In 2007, we were lucky enough, and we ended up winning the championship for that year. And I went on to 2008, and also won the championship in 2008.
Well, but you had you got to explain a little bit to the audience here about the type of car that it was. You mentioned there were various classes and things of that nature, and the type of things that you had to have in order to do this. Like I say, it wasn't one event you ran to get the championship. How many races were there in the season?
There was 8 races that we had to
participate in?
Start or finish or halfway through, however that happens. But there was 8 of them every year, of course, and we're running a Class 9 car, which is the open wheel 100-inch wheelbase.
Where were the events held? I mean, is it the same course, or are there different places you ran them? Or tell us a little bit about that.
Each place has 3 different courses. They have A, B, and C. We started in Barstow, and there's a couple of races there, and it goes on to Ridgecrest, and there's a couple of races there just as well, and then it moves on to Lucerne County, Apple Valley area, and they have most of the big races are in Lucerne County.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned, again, racing with family. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, since 2000 on to right now, I started racing with my son. His name is Arcadio Vasquez. Unfortunately, I lost him in '07. And again, the '08 championship, I came back and fought so that I could win that championship in his memory, of course. And previous to that, I was racing with my brother in Mexico.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you mentioned a new sponsor and a new team, and why don't you tell us some about the new sponsor and the new project?
Yes, great. Yes, I do have a new sponsor. His name is John Shu, and we are now currently running a Class 10 car, and this is a big team that we have put together here, and I'm very pleased to announce that. We've had a lot of fun, especially for myself, coming out of a Class 9, a small wheelbase car to a big, huge car in my eyes, and I have certainly enjoyed it here.
Well, how did you come across your John Shu? I mean, was he racing against you at the time, or how did you guys meet?
No, he comes from rally and road racing. We used to do that too.
Oh, really?
So,
why don't you talk to us a little bit about that? I didn't hear about any of this.
Yes, we have an old Class 8 truck. It was owned by Walker Evans in 1986 or so, and I happened to come across this truck, purchased it, and my son and I went racing, rally racing, and we had been doing the Gorman Ridge Rally race, and also road racing, and this is where we met this young man, and he wanted to go off-road racing, and he was willing to fund the new team.
Wow. Listen, tell me a little bit about rally racing. How does it differ from off-road racing?
It's still third access roads type of terrain, except that you have little jumps here and there, but you don't have the rough, deep terrain or rock or anything of that nature. It's more about speed, and it's certainly more about control. You actually use your steering wheel to prepare the car to slide through turns and things of that nature. It's a lot different.
Well, when you mentioned sliding through turns and what have you, so the car is not prepared like what you have when you go through the Baja 1000 or any of these other type of programs. It's structured differently. Now, this is a course that you guys set up, or is it like stadium racing, or what is it like?
No, it is a course just like it is in off-road per se. It's through the woods or through the desert just as well, and it's all dirt. It's high speed. It's a lot higher speed than it is on off-road.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, so you started out with this program in rally racing, and now you're in off-road. Tell me about your future plans.
Future plans are to continue with the off-road, of course, and we're currently having the old car again that we run the championship in back to life again, and we're going to be racing that this season for fun, and definitely with our new team and our new car also.
Well, I see that you're sporting your team shirt this evening. Tell us how you came up with the idea and the colors and what have you.
Well, our original car was red and white, and when my son and I started racing, he wanted to do it in yellow. He was his favorite color, so we've been racing with yellow and red, and so our shirts are yellow and reds, and our new team is called Cayo's Racing. I named the team Cayo because his name was Arcadio, and I called him Cayo for short. So now we have the team called Cayo's Racing.
So it's dedicated to your son.
Absolutely.
Well, that's really
every shirt and every banner we have, it's addressed in his name and his.
Well, that's quite an honor, and that's quite a gesture that you've done there.